wanna see me get up in my bed, ball up. Dumping in bag, friends finna turn into haters, I'm watching them fall up. I just walked in the sage, she looking like she wanna spit on my rags. She looking like she wanna spit on this deck, but I think she just tryna spit for the cash.
82 Society, it's your man, it's your boy, RichMoneyMan. 82 or without the 82, it's up to you. We are back with another reaction video, and we are here with the longer one, 12 minutes. The BLUELOCK video. We gonna knock this bitch out. I'm on stream, recording today. This vibe gonna be up, so if y'all wanna see it, y'all can pop through on the Twitch. I'll leave the Twitch in the description down below, alongside the channel that we're reacting to is link in the description down below, so you could go share and show some love to the OG. You know what I'm saying? So you can show support and go do your thing. See more videos from their side, from my side. We both eat. You know what I'm saying? I link my stuff, I link your stuff. We all win. But let's get into this fucking BLUELOCK video. I've been dying to see this because I seen this like a day ago. I was like, ooh, I was gonna watch this. I said, nah, I'm gonna save it for the reaction channel. And then he dropped another video. He dropped a chapter review yesterday. I already watched that though. I'm waiting for officials. I'm not gonna lie. It's GG's the leaks, my nigga. I'm cool. Leaks is ass now. They snuffed out another one of my favorite servers. It's raps. Shit is trash now, twin. God damn. Okay. Y'all can hear it, right? Let me play my man's music real quick. Alright, yeah. Alright. Arrow Assassin, you get in your bag, brother. Can I hype up your video? Possibly on the MacBook. I think that's a mobile only thing, but yeah. Like I said, bro, his video / channel will be in the description down below, alongside every other, video we react to. As always, it's gonna always be a part of my thing that, to show support and, give what do you call it? Give credit, But yeah. Go ahead, tune into his shit, man.
The U20 World Cup arc is currently underway. The arc that we BLUELOCK fans have been anticipating is finally here. And with the second round of the group stage completed, Kaneshiro has already given us the format for the rest of this arc. This includes the knockouts, the character development, and even the winner of the tournament. So this video is going to break it all down for you, giving you the likely outcome.
My boy, got the little beard going. Let me get some of that. I just got the goatee and the stash. A little bit on the side though. I need the beard though.
And trajectory of the rest of the U20 World Cup. And be warned that this is not 100% fact, but it is supported by evidence from the manga and real life comparisons for how the World Cup is typically structured. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and it shows me your support on what I can discuss in the future. Looking at the groups, we have the final scores for each team decided after the second game during the group stage. And with these, we've already gotten some confirmation as to what teams will participate against who in the knockouts. Now, if you don't know how the brackets are constructed, don't worry. I don't blame you, and I'm not going to judge you because, truthfully, I wasn't 100% aware either. But the top two teams for the groups will be thrown onto different sides of the bracket for the knockouts, with the top team being in the first slot and the second team being in the second slot. It might sound a little bit confusing there, but you'll understand once I get into it. We'll start with the teams that have already been secured, starting with Group A. France.
Let me see this. Let me see. Hold on. Whoa, hold on. Okay. Group A, so we're looking for A3 for BLUELOCK, right? Since they be third. Or am I tripping? let me
This has already been stated to have secured a spot in the knockouts, placing them at the A1 spot in the top left. And because we know Japan will follow second, so the story can progress further, they'll be placed in the A2 slot in the top right bracket. Looking at Group B, Brazil is easily making it through with 6 points, meaning they will be placed as a B1, making them the first opponent that Japan faces. Because that's how the brackets work. The top team of one group.
The England new gen just got got revealed. This newest chapter, I think 352. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
Will face the second top team of the other group. For Group B, it is a tie between Senegal and the Czech Republic. However, with Senegal in the lead, I suspect that they will move on simply because they seem to be the better team. But because it's up in the air, you can just leave this as a question mark. And with that, the first bracket has been completed. Now you kind of understand how this is going to go, and now we just have to do that a ton more times. Looking at Group C, Argentina sits with 6 points, so they will be our C1 team on the left.
Yeah,
and because Tunisia has 4 points, they will likely survive even if Denmark wins, meaning they will be our C2 team on the right side. For Group D, Spain has 6 points again, giving them a pass to this spot on the right side, facing off against Tunisia. And the next one's a little bit tricky since Ecuador is only at 2 points, with Sweden and Qatar with 1 point each. However, from what I've been told by Raven, he gambles on Ecuador, so I'm going to put them there. But remember, this is just a possibility, not a confirmed lock. It's crazy, but this basically secures Spain as being a top 16 team, not even a quarter or semi-final opponent. That means we're only going to be getting one game with Sai Itashi before he faces off against Spain, which is the game that he's essentially been wanting to face in the first place. Some might say it's a little bit fast, but that's not for me to decide. Going into Group E, this is really anyone's game. Of course, Italy is set to survive, but we are not sure as to what place they'll be for the knockouts. However, for the purpose of narrative, I think that we'll actually see Italy be placed in E2, making them face Japan in the quarterfinals. And for E1, we can just put Iran or something. I don't know. I've told they're all right as a team. Lorenzo is a character who Kanashiro just has seemingly forgotten about, since he really hasn't appeared in the story since Kaiser's Magna School, and that was really only for like exposition. We've yet to see him at all in the U20 World Cup.
Okay.
So if Italy doesn't top the group, we will see them face off against Japan in the quarterfinals, which would be a great matchup given the narrative for Barro and the other former Ubers players from the NEL. Going into Group F, Switzerland will be topping the group and be played on the right side, and I'm gonna guess that China will be placed in F2, I guess. I remember y'all talking about the Great Wall of China New Generation 11 theory, so I like the theory, so we're just gonna hope China makes it through into some, I don't know, future match. Maybe they'll play against France. I don't know. In Group G, the Netherlands have 6 points, so they will be placed on the left side of the bracket. And while the next place hasn't been decided since Egypt and Colombia are tied, I'm going to play Colombia because, again, Raven told me to. Group H is hard because every team is currently tied, so it can be really anyone's game. So we'll just place Austria on the left and Peru on the right. Group I is next, similar to Italy's group, where Australia has passed, but we do not know which side they'll be playing on. So we'll just say Australia will be I1 and Portugal will be I2. For Group J, another similar situation, so we'll just put Canada in J1 and Croatia in J2.
Damn, Ghana? No.
For Group K, Saudi Arabia is set to pass with 6 points, so we'll just give them the spot in K1. And since Algeria has 4, we'll say that they take the K2 spot, but again, that's up in the air. For Group L, it's still anyone's pick, so we'll just say Morocco in L1 and Ukraine in L2. For Group M, we just can't win today, it seems, since it's another group tie again, so we'll just say Uruguay in M1 and Turkey in M2. The dark horses of this World Cup are 100% going to make it, right? For Group N, Norway and the US are currently both passing, but since they're tied...
Damn, South Africa too, dog. Nothing on the board? Fuck.
We don't know who will be placed where, so let's just say the US will be N1 and Norway will be N2. For Group O, there's still a lot of potential for any team to make it, so we'll just have Mexico be O1 and Poland will be O2. And for the final group, Group P, Germany is at the top of the group because my goat Michael Kaiser cooks like that, so they will be P1 and Serbia will be P2. And with that, we have our projected bracket for the U20 World Cup, which means we have the projected lineup that Japan will be facing off against for the rest of the U20 World Cup.
Talk to me.
The route will potentially go Brazil, Spain, Italy, Germany, and then France. Now, I say potentially.
Oh my gosh. Say that one more time.
The rest of the U20 World Cup. The route will potentially go Brazil, Spain,
Italy. Okay. So literally, after Brazil is Spain. Okay. So Spain, Bunny. Okay, Bunny, Lorenzo.
Italy, Germany.
Wait. Hold up. Let me see.
The route will potentially go Brazil, Bunny, Spain, Italy, Germany,
Yeah, Lorenzo Kaiser.
and then France. Now, I say potentially because the only game that is not secured here is against Italy, which can be a number of other teams, but everyone else is locked in. Spain will be top 16, Germany will be semis.
Let's just cope a little bit. Let's cope a little bit. Hope you ain't forget about Don Lorenzo.
Brazil will be the first game. France is the finale. That is the lineup. With the U20 World Cup being a popular topic, I want to talk about the new gens who could be placed for respective countries in the knockouts. In Chapter 303, it was stated that every new Generation 11 would be participating in the U20 World Cup, meaning we should see each of these players in this arc. And with help from Raven, because he did me a huge solid breaking down these countries and their history and overall likeliness of high-level players from those countries, we've been able to kind of do a ranking of least likely to most likely countries for new gens. Now, this is just speculation, so take what we say here with a grain of salt. Could be right, could be wrong, but again, you don't know. In reference to our bracket, I can't see a new gen coming from Peru, Austria, Tunisia, Turkey, Croatia, Portugal, Poland, Colombia, Morocco, Senegal, Mexico, and Norway.
Damn. Okay, so what will be left? Saudi Arabia, Australia, Argentina. I think Brazil is gonna have one. I just got a feeling.
This not only comes from the position of these countries in the current story, but also just former football history. According to Raven, he says that some have lesser football history, less likely to see them in the brackets or at all, mostly not World Cup winners or former winners who have fallen off massively, and Kanashiro wouldn't believe them to be a main fit. And I want to talk about them on one of the points that was mentioned about their perspective and purpose in this story. The only ways we will probably see a new Generation 11 in this arc will be them facing off against BLUELOCK or them facing off with another narratively important country like Germany or France. I don't see us getting one for Bunny's perspective before the Spain game, so it would have to be France or Germany if it's not Japan's perspective. Now, the countries mentioned before do have the possibility of a new gen. I mean, every country has that possibility. I just don't see it happening logically and narratively. However, there are some countries that I do feel like have a decent chance of having a new gen. These countries are Brazil, Switzerland, Argentina, Netherlands, US, and possibly England. Now, there are some reasons for
not possibly, nigga. There is, and his name is Teddy Knight. That nigga named Teddy Knight. Hey, we gonna slime that nigga out though. Y'all gonna see tomorrow when the chapter come out, bro. Tuesday.
This as well. Brazil is known as the country of football, a nation that won the most World Cups in the history of football. Plus, we do kind of need a new gen dribbler. We have new gens with solid dribbling in Sai, Loki, and Lorenzo, but we don't have a dedicated dribbler archetype. Sai is more passing, Lorenzo is defending, and Loki is just speed. We have pros like Lavinho from Brazil and Dada Silva as well, so getting another Brazilian player in a new Generation 11 could be an interesting dynamic. Switzerland is a good possibility, assuming that Italy is not going to be Japan's opponent in the quarterfinals. If we just aren't going to highlight Lorenzo as an opponent in the U20 World Cup, I feel like the only other possible option is to highlight a different new gen in his place. Plus, according to Raven, Switzerland is by far the strongest opponent that BLUELOCK could face outside of England for the acceptable options for the U20 World Cup, at least in the quarterfinals. Which you need to remember, that would be after a game against Spain, against Bunny, that Sai and Rain would both likely awaken from. An awakened Sai and an awakened Rain facing off against this country, they would need at least a new gen or Lorenzo to be cooking to actually do something and have a reasonable and high-level game. Now, Argentina is strictly for Messi.
And not even just that, but the team itself, this would have to be, what, France? Again, basically?
This has
not a lot literally, but like, they'd have to struggle and break through their opponents individually on some team, like some, what, first selection type shit? Or what I mean, second selection? I forgot. It's been a minute.
Validity.
That reminds me too. I gotta pick back up the manga. I was rereading it. these chapters been taking me these recent chapters, bro. 350, 351, straight bangers back to back to back, bro. It's been fucking up my reread I was supposed to be doing. Man, I gotta find the time, bro.
Because they're going to be a challenge to France at the beginning of the U20 World Cup knockout, so we could see a new gen making Loki and Ugo's lives slightly difficult. Now, my reasoning for the Netherlands comes down to 2 reasons. According to Raven, they are another strong team with massive defensive structure and are another hard opponent for France to face off against, but we could use this as Lorenzo upskill considering he is the best U20 center back. But you also need to consider this recent World Cup. Japan faced off against the Netherlands recently for the 2026 World Cup and managed to draw them, and I gotta say, I was watching that game and it was absolutely incredible. Nomura even tweeted about the game after it was done. So this could be a sign that Kaneshiro is using this as a reference for the story. Maybe he'll highlight the Netherlands considering that game was incredible against Japan. Maybe, maybe not. I just think it's, something. Now for the US, this is strictly my own bias. Not because I am American, but because I think it would be great for Germany. The US is really the only team that Germany could face off against that has any kind of relevance as to potential teams to face off against. I think the US is the only team that Germany could face off against that has any kind of relevance or strength in relation to possible matchups. Plus, I've always been a huge fan of the idea of Kaiser getting a spin-off manga going through the German team's perspective of the U20 World Cup prior to their game against BLUELOCK. So if we did get something like that, it would be a lot to highlight about Kaiser, Ness, and the German team going into that final game. And we could get some new gens in that story. That way Japan doesn't have to face a new gen every single game, because that would feel a little bit plotty. And that is essentially the layout for the U20 World Cup and what teams and enemies BLUELOCK will likely face. Now, while this video is supposed to be as accurate as possible given real life circumstances and manga evidence, Kaneshiro could just do a 180 and change things up on a whim, so take everything we said with a grain of salt. But again, if everything goes according to plan, this is how the arc could go down. I'm very excited to see what kind of players we will see from these teams and what kind of matches we will get to see as well. I do want to know what game you guys are most excited for, so let me know down below in the comments. And the only thing I have left to say to y'all is that I hope you guys did enjoy this video. We'll continue to enjoy it in the future. Like and subscribe to see more awesome BLUELOCK content just like this, and I will see you all in the next one.
Yeah, bro.
Peace, y'all.
This is a very interesting bracket right here. Wait. Like, Brazil to Spain to possibly Italy is nasty work, nigga. Especially with the fact that Brazil could have a new gen as well. And we're dealing with England already with their new gen. Like, dog. But I wasn't trying to talk too much because this was a pretty lengthy video and I'm limited on time. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all liked it. I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm excited for this England game. I'm excited for Brazil and to see what they got. But let's see what this England game got going, bro. Go show some love to Arrow. I appreciate y'all for watching, but I will see y'all in the next video, y'all. Peace.